It's always so.
And we are live.
Hello.
Hey, hello. Hello, everyone. Hey, Sasha.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Oh my God, I can't.
Yes. I actually saw that you were already reading book number 4 and had strong thoughts about it. So I'm reading book number 4 currently. I'm like about 200 pages in. So
I'm going to tweet that we are live.
Yes, I'll do that too. I'm pretty sure being back on Twitter is like so weird for me. It's been such a long time. Oh, as you guys can see, Sasha's in the chat. She's not with us. Well, not sort of physically with us, if that makes sense, because of her internet connection. Hopefully, we will both be good for the internet. And Steph's not joining us because I'm pretty sure she DNF'd book 2, so that meant she didn't start book 3.
Yes, she DNF'd the whole series and she will join us in our reading sprints, but she didn't read the book, so yes. Hey, hello.
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 Let's actually open.
Yeah, me neither. I actually just finished the 4th book yesterday. Like, I just finished it and I need to stop reading my live show books like a few days before the live show. It's so stressful. I need to stop it. Like, I'm going to read the 4th book, I think, like in a week. I don't want to wait until the end of the month anymore.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. This is why I have started with A Sky Beyond the Storm, so that I know I'm done. Also, I'm listening to the audiobook of it, and I have like an hour to work every single day, like 30 minutes to my work and then 30 minutes back. So I have like an hour to listen. And because of the fact that I'm working almost every single day in August, I'm pretty sure I can do this.
Yes, I'm also like, I always listen to audiobooks on my way to work, so I get a lot of audiobook reading every month.
Yes.
I finished the final. Oh, today we are talking about the 4th book, not the final book.
No, just so we're clear, we are talking about A Reaper at the Gates today. That's the 3rd book, right? I grabbed the right one.
That's the 4th book.
So this is book number 3 out of the Ember Quartet that we're talking about today. Shall we just start with the ratings and a little bit of our sort of general thoughts about it?
Yes, that's a good idea. Let's see. For the live show, yes.
Yeah.
You also finished the 4th book. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm like,
yeah. What the 4th book will be? No. Okay.
I need to get more tissues in the house.
Yes, it seems so. Okay, so let's talk about the 4th book, not the 4th one. So number 3. So I gave it 3 stars. I gave also the 2nd book 3 stars. And I had mixed opinions, but like, I don't know, it was in a few places 3.5 stars. So 3 stars is like average. I didn't suffer. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. So far, the 4th book is still my favorite one. So yes, I just read it yesterday, so I will love to hear everyone's thoughts first, because I still need to process everything. What about you, Esme?
I mean, do you want to take a wild guess?
5 stars.
Oh! I mean, there's a reason that I wanted to do this read long and read these 3 before getting into the 4th one. And once again, it did not disappoint. I do have to say that a couple of things I'd forgotten, and I'm pretty sure that in like there's a couple of things that I would like to sort of backtrack a bit about, like certain characters and certain revelations in book 3 when looking back on book 1, because I'm pretty sure there was a couple of things that we talked about back then and people actually said, oh, maybe this and this. And
yes, I have one thing to say about it. You all were right. I was wrong about the cook. We will talk about it. I just wanted to say it. Yes, you can continue now.
Can you pull up Sasha's comment. the short one, yeah.
I told you. I have a reason why I really wished that the cook weren't someone related to her family, because it seemed like in the first book it seems too obvious and too expected for me, and I wanted something more, I don't know, something more unexpected. So I really wish that the cook isn't someone from her family, but I'm not disappointed from it. Like now when I read the fourth book, I'm not really disappointed, so it's okay, I feel.
I'm pretty sure this is about the fourth book. So
yes, I also think so.
I will send you
for the final.
Once I'm done, I will send you a text because I'm pretty sure I'll be done before we actually do the reading sprints.
Yes, if you're well, yes, we don't have a date yet, but yes.
I mean, considering I read like 200 pages in 3 days, and the reading sprints are usually somewhere in the middle of the month, then well, I'll be anyway. We'll talk about book 3.
Yeah, you will probably finish it. Okay, so it was 2 stars,
Stasha!
because it was both DNF. As I would have DNF'd it, it wasn't for the read along, but I still want to know what will happen. Okay, so you actually feel like you would DNF it if it wasn't for the read along, which is interesting. Actually, I was feeling in a few places that I'm a little bit forcing myself to keep reading for the read along, so I can get you, and I can get like why you were bored in some places. Because yes, like I feel that only the plot in the first book really interests me, and like the second and the fourth book were okay, but not really interesting. Like I didn't really want to keep reading.
I mean, you guys have opinions, and I respect them, but they're wrong. They're wrong. I love you. I love you still, even though you have poor book taste. But no, I get it. Like I get why. I don't know. I'm just so invested in these characters, and I'm pretty sure that when I got to book 3, I'd already waited for book 3 for 2 years. I'm pretty sure I saw that Femke, my fellow bookish buddy here. I saw the Femkes here. Femke probably has the same thing. We read them about the same sort of periods. But yeah, it was 5-star. I get why people would find it boring, but it's just I am so invested in all of these characters, and it's just I love the way how everything is so intricate and it doesn't just fit together. Like everything is like everything goes wrong. And I just like the way that it's so intricately like woven together. Also the fact that Saba isn't scared to kill off characters, I also really appreciate. It's not oh, there's war and we all survive apart from the bad guy. If you know what I mean.
I agree with it. I love I already said it a lot of times, but I love when our first kill characters. I always loved it. I liked book 3 better than book 2. Okay. I can get what you are saying, because I'm not sure which book I liked better, book 2 or 3. But like book 3, at least in the start, felt a little bit more fun to me, because there was a little bit more of world building. Like that's the thing that I love the most in book 3, that it wasn't a lot and not to the point that I really wanted, but it was so much more than the previous books. So it made it a little, I just felt like the fourth book was more fantasy than the 2 first books. Just was more fantasy and more world building, so I liked it. So yes.
Yeah, I think at least for me, when rereading them, I mean, I love them all just as much as I loved them the first time, but the first book is 100% the best out of them. They're action-packed, like the world is well built, the way that the characters are introduced, and also the way that their sort of hopes and beliefs very much clash with each other, but also are all logical, is just really well done. And I agree, but I'm like, I still love them. very much. Also, I love the fact that we also get the perspective of the Nightbringer as well, which is, I think that is really nice, because usually the bad guy is just the bad guy. But with this one, like the Nightbringer, or well, Keenan, basically, he really gets like this extra layer of depth because they're actually explaining why he does the things he does. And it makes him a bit more like human, but it like, I still hate him, but I can get him, if that makes sense.
Yes, I liked it too. If you want to steal something, just do it while watching the seller in the eyes. The more obvious, it's more probable it is. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure there's like a scene in there. I don't remember. Was it? I think it's Leia who's trying to steal something, right?
Yes, it's probably Leia.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that she tried to steal something. I just don't remember really. But okay. I was sad when Leia found out what happened to her family. Yes, Yes, I also love this plot. Like, again, in the fourth book, if someone told me that the cook is her mother, I would be like, oh, it's so expected. I don't love it. But I liked the way that it was like connected in the fourth book. It was okay. And I love that we like saw what happened to Leia's father and sister. I loved like the whole plot of it and what happened. This scene I really loved when she found out. It was nice. Like one of the more enjoyable scenes for me.
Wow, we talk about death and decay, and then Jane goes, "Yay!"
Yes, I don't know. Like I really love those scenes. Also, the scene when Marcus broke Helena's sister fingers. Also, one of my favorite ones. I really love those scenes.
Yeah. I also, like, in general, I also feel like things are correctly placed, because if you would have put all of this in the first book, that's way before, like, Leia has so much character build from like the first to the third book, and I wouldn't say she becomes a different person, but she does sort of realize that she's not as pure and as good as she would like to be. And in general, like, I feel like, I don't know, she just, all characters do, especially also Helena, who's one of my absolute favorites. I love her so much. Like
So you weren't in the last live show, but I don't remember what everyone else says, but I hated Helena in the first book, and I loved her in the second book, and I still love her. Yes, like we talked in the previous live show that I feel like most of us agreed that if Helena got a POV in the first book, we would love her so much better in the first book, because like her POV made everyone love her so much more.
Yeah, I think she is such an underrated character. Like, usually it's just like Leia and Elias that they look at, but Helena is she's such a badass. Like, she's so cool. Also, the fact that she, like, one of the only women who was able to go to Blackcliff and like become an actual mask.
Yes.
I mean,
not just the mask, the
blood strike.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the word in English.
Oh, yes. Or the strike. Like, I mean, I get that.
Left the second
I get
book.
it. I'm not sure if I would have loved the books as much if I had read them for the first time now. Because when I read An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night, that was very early on in sort of my going from like easier contemporary reads to like high fantasy. And I'm pretty sure that if I would have read them now for the first time, having all of the other sort of great and amazing 5-star reads in my head, I wouldn't have, like, I probably feel closer to what you guys are feeling right now, which I definitely think that sort of the melancholy of series really, I don't know, it sits with
you.
I
think it's like a good series to read if you're in the age of young adults, but if you're like in a more adult age, or someone who read a lot of YA high fantasy books, maybe it's not as amazing as it could be if you read it like when you was younger. That's what I think. I was bored and didn't really care, but I still wanted to know what the author does with the stories. So it's not like I think it's bad. I think it's good, but not for me. Actually, can really, really get you because I was a little bit forcing myself to read in some points, but like I still gave it 3 stars because it wasn't really boring, and I was a little bit interested, like to know what is going to happen with the characters and what the author is going to do. So I really get like what you're saying.
Maybe because I'm not sure about Sasha, but you're more of a plot-driven reader, I think, than character-driven, right?
I'm more of a plot-driven reader.
Yeah. I mean,
yes.
I feel like these books are very, very character-driven heavy.
Yes.
So I would say like the books that I tend to not love as much are the ones that are plot-driven. So we're like polar opposites in this. I'm not sure if Sasha usually enjoys plot-driven more than character-driven, but that could be a part of it. Like the fact that, you know, I feel like a lot more hangs on these characters than on the plot. Though I have to say that going into, I really feel like book 2 and especially book 3 really set up for the plot of book 4, because so far, like what I've read, it is very, very plot heavy, and like there's so much more depth already in this 4th book, and I really feel like the 3rd one is setting that up. So
that's amazing. I really love hearing that. But we actually also talked about it, like in the previous live show, that most of us felt like the 2nd book was just setting itself up to the rest of the story. So definitely, I also felt like this in the 4th book, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
My reread of those books, I actually loved them less than the first time I read them. That's logical because it was older.
Not the first one, right? I'm pretty sure I saw something, and I quote Femke here, saying, "This has just reminded me of how much I love this book." That was the first one, though. We haven't really talked about the 2nd and 3rd one. Probably because of the fact that I've not been talking at all. Sorry.
Lena, yes. Yes, she's amazing. I like the book, but I agree that the book was a bit slow parts, and I just listening, I missed so because I didn't pay it. Yes. That's the thing with audiobooks. You missed a lot of things. Yeah. Actually, like I read the 3 first books in my native language, but the 4th book wasn't translated. So I'm going to read it in English. So I will probably read it, also in audiobook. I will probably like try mixed media, like we'll try at the same time, maybe. It's easier to read like this. Oh yes, it's good when the author kills someone. Good. Yes, Sasha. The first one was the best.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. I agree. I'm not sure about the 4th one yet, but the first one's definitely the best now when reading them.
So you're saying that the first one is a close second. Okay. That's interesting.
Can we get a 4-star out of Jane? That is the question here.
Yes, I gave the first book 4 stars. It was really, really enjoyable for me. Yes. I also felt like I liked them lesser than the first time I read the first 3 books, but I absolutely love the 4th book. Okay, so from all the people here who read the 4th book, it seems like everyone loves it. I'm not sure as the first one, but it's good news. It's already good news. Yeah. Wait till you get another.
Oh, I have an idea then. That's either, like, I'm not at that part yet, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Karis, because she's just a royal bitch. Sorry for my language here. I don't like her at all. But maybe Eliza's grandfather, so her father, Quinn Venturius, I have to say. Like, that's Karis's father, who really approves of Elias. I have a feeling that he's not going to be behind his daughter, but he's going to be behind other people. I don't know. Unless he's dead.
Okay.
He's not dead, right? Or am I just... No, I'm pretty sure he's not dead. I don't remember. Right?
I'm not sure.
Am I like saying stuff now? No, right?
Talking about the cook, you said it was too obvious, so it's a way of hiding things.
The ceiling thing that Sasha just said.
Ah, okay. Yes. Okay, okay, I got it. Okay. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, hello. So shipping Elena and
Oh,
Harper. Like,
yes.
yes, I ship them
Oh,
from the second book. I'm so happy to see the relationship progress. Like, I really love those kind of parts, like the scenes between them. Yes, I really love them. I love them together more than Laia and Elias together. Just, yes, I don't know, it feels to me more genuine, honestly. I'm more of a character driven actually, but not this time, I guess. Yes, you need like also if you're a character driven reader, it doesn't mean that you will connect to every
no.
characters from every book that you read. It's logical. Like also me, like I read some books with amazing plot, but they were not for me, which is okay. Still really love the first book, but the second.
Yeah, I get that. I had that too. I was
Yeah.
just too excited to notice that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's logical. Yes, if it's your all-time favorite series, I really can get you. But yes, Femka, I also like feel you. I also felt like the second, the fourth book was meh. So I'm really happy to hear that everyone thinks that the fourth book will be good.
That said, it might also be because of the fact that I've not read anything else the past 2 months. I mean, she already does that in book 1, so that really sets the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like during I think it's the second trial, the combat that they have against each other, or is it the third trial? The second or the third trial, where they pin Helena against Elias, and they basically,
It's
they
the
kill each
fourth
other.
trial. Yes, the fourth trial.
Yeah.
Okay. Who love Caris? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, true.
yes.
Honestly,
I don't.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I don't like her because I don't like. I usually love villain characters. I love Marcus more than Caris so far. Like villain character. I don't think she is the best villain that I read about. And she's okay, but she isn't really interesting for me. And I love villain characters, so yeah.
Also, I don't think she's even like the true villain. Like she
Yes,
thinks that she's all that, but in the end,
exactly.
she's just the Nightbringer's puppet, and like he's using her just as
Mm-hmm.
long as she's useful to him, and then she'll be the first to go. I am predicting that. I mean, she's gonna die. I can feel it. She's gonna die, and she's either gonna die at the hand of either Leia or Elias.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing it's the Nightbringer who just basically at one point just goes, "Yeah, you're not useful to me. Yep, you go."
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, yes, when I didn't thought about it, but now when I'm thinking about it, it's really logical that she's going to die, and it will be really okay seeing her die. It's interesting who will kill her. It's a nice thought. You also think that she's going to die, or is it also only Esme and I? Honestly like her because she reminds me of Umbridge. I love hating character.
I mean, I hate Umbridge, so I hate
What is
Karis.
Umbridge?
From Harry Potter.
What?
Umbridge is the character from Harry Potter who's basically even worse than Voldemort is.
Ah, okay. Yes.
It's the woman in pink.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Now I know what we're talking about. Yes, I ship Helena and
Yes,
Harper.
they're
Yes.
so cute. They have this like
Mm-hmm.
amazing like banter. Oh, I don't know. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love the fact that she's like even higher than he is, and it's like female empowerment. Yes.
Yes, I also loved it. Yes, I like Elias and Lias are okay, but I don't feel if they won't be together at the end, I will be just okay with it. But Helena and Harper, I wish they will be together in the end. I just wish.
Yeah, I like both, and if either of them don't end up together, I'll be heartbroken.
Maybe you
Elias is
should
just my
prepare yourself, because it seems like a lot of people are sad in the comments from the fourth book.
can I just say that Elias just deserves the world. Like, he gave up everything he has to, you know, protect Thalia and Darren. And then he actually becomes like the soul catcher, and he's now all about like duty and stuff. But like, he would, he really sure gave up his life for Elias. So they come
Yes.
on.
Yes.
He's such, like, even though he seems like such a like sugar-coated character, I feel like he is one of the most like loyal and like most nice characters in the series in general. And usually, like the love interest is usually like this morally gray asshole, and Elias is just a wholesome, amazing guy.
Yes, I actually get you. Like, Elias' personality is really, really good. Actually, like, I liked Elias' POV in the start of the book. Like, I feel that in the first half of the book, I really love his plot. I didn't expect to love his plot, but I love this plot. And then in the second part of the book, he had the whole plot that he needs to connect, like to actually leave the human world behind and connect to the real magic. And I didn't like this plot because I felt that it took too long. I don't know, like, I just felt like I wanted to see him give up before that. I don't know, it just felt to me really slow, and that every chapter from Elias' POV just keeps to be the same thing all over again.
I don't know.
So yes, I love
him.
his character. Yeah.
I don't know. I get him, because like he's such, like, he's holding on to his own humanity, and it wouldn't have been true to Elias's personality and character if he would have just been like, you know what, screw humanity. I am now the soul catcher. I don't give a damn about anybody. I don't know. It felt like it was like I found those chapters to be pretty boring as well. But I think it would have taken away from who Elias is if it would have been done quicker. If that makes sense. Maybe it could have been sped up a bit, where it was like, I've been here for 6 months, and just leave out those bits and like speed it up that way, and not have every single sort of chapter from his perspective be the exact same thing over and over again. But I don't know, if it would have been like 2 weeks and you'd be like, you know what? Screw humanity. There we go. That would have not felt like him.
Yes, I get what you're saying, but the second book already ended. Like, I feel like already from the start, from the first, from this book, I don't remember her name, but like the one with Elias, the soul catcher, the
Shiva?
second one.
Shiva.
Yes, Shifa, yes. So Shifa already told him from the start of the book that he needs to connect to the real magic, and he needs to forget the human life. And like, I know that it doesn't need to be really quick, and that's okay, because character development, it can happen in one day, but it still felt to me like it was just too slow, because like from the moment that Shiva died, I expected things to get worse quicker, but I loved like that everything got worse. I loved that all the ghosts, like all the souls run away. That's plot I love.
That was I think one of the strongest bits of the book, at least for me. I really, really enjoyed those bits, and I couldn't put the book down. At least now. I'm pretty sure I read when the first time I read the third book, I read it in like 2 sittings or something. But
that's
not
amazing. Actually, also read. Yes, I read like I read the first 100 pages. I don't remember like how much time, but all the other 400 pages, I read it like in 3 sittings, something like this, because I read it in a little bit, like in a day and a half, because I needed to finish it for today. Yes. Caris is a top, but I love her for it. I need to be able to hate someone like Caris is on Twitch, and Nightbreaker gives me Voldemort.
Fair enough.
Really, I'm not sure, like, yes, maybe he's the villain, but not really, because he also has a purpose and a goal, which is nice to see it. But I don't know, like out of those three, like out of all the villains that we saw so far, I love the personality of Marcus the most. Like he was the best villain in my opinion. Like he was actually evil.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, I really liked the aspect of Marcus talking to his dead brother. I think that was a really, really interesting just plot device. And I was weirdly enough, pretty sad when he died, because I would have liked a lot more of his input. It would have been so cool to have like Marcus be on sort of Olivia's side and his own son's side, and then have like Nightbringer and Karis on like the other end of the spectrum, and have these. Like, I think it would have been more suited to have Marcus die somewhere in the middle of like book 4, or like somewhere in the beginning of book 4, to sort of kickstart book number 4 into like this big war that's been brewing over these books.
Yes, I actually also sad from his death, because he was one of my most favorite characters in the book. But I do appreciate like that Sabatir killed him. I do really appreciate when authors kill characters, and I do get what you are saying, and maybe it was better in the start of the 4th book, but I didn't felt like it was the wrong timing. It still felt like a good timing for the plot and for all the scene. Like it felt dramatic and to the point, so it was okay. Yes, maybe it wasn't the most perfect timing, but it was a good timing.
Fair. I mean, fair enough. I would have liked it to be a bit later.
Giver Destiny is gonna be such a fun talk.
We'll see next live show in about a month.
Yes. Kelly's Destiny seems really sad when he might made. Yes. I agree with it.
I think out of actually all the characters, he just deserves better. Like,
yes, I agree with it. I think that the reason that I wanted for him to give up earlier is because I knew that he's going to give up someday. Like somewhere he's going to give up and forget the human world and be the actual soul catcher bringer. I don't know how it's called in English, but soul catcher. Okay.
Yeah. So you have the Nightbringer and the soul catcher. Yeah.
Okay. So I just knew that he's going to be like the soul catcher, and I wanted this to arrive quicker so I could get quicker to the actual after plot. Like after he's already the soul catcher. I agree. Like he definitely deserves more. Like definitely is like the most. I don't know. Like I really love his character. Like his personality. He's really like he has a soul, and he's caring. And yes, I agree. He deserves so much better.
I've heard so many people say like, yeah, Elias is just boring, and I'm like, but my dude deserves better.
I think his plot is boring, not the character is boring.
Yeah.
The most annoying character from the major. Okay, interesting.
Well, so far I do not agree. But we'll come back.
Yes, you read already a lot. You read 200 pages.
Yeah.
Out of how much?
I think it's like 600. So I'm like 1/3 of the way through. I think.
Yes. So you read like a good amount. Yes.
But we'll talk about this next live show. Yeah.
Yes. It took me nearly 2 months to read the 4th book. Book 4 took me less than 2 days.
Whoa.
Okay, so it means that you really loved it. That's good. That's amazing. Marcus.
Yeah, was really sad.
Was indeed sad. Yes.
Even though I hate him very much, but I was still sad.
I loved him from the 1st book. Again, one of my favorite characters.
Book 1, I wanted to pummel him in book 1.
I loved him in book 1 too. But I believe a lot of people are gonna be sad but happy in the end of book 4. Yes.
Well, if it's close to anything but the conclusion of like the City of Brass of that 3rd book, then you'll have me sobbing next live show. So
what do we think of Livia and Musa? Are they a lot more present in book 3.
I love both of them very much. I think they really, especially Livia, is such a like she's definitely like an Aquila. Like she's definitely Helena's family, but she has a lot more. Like she's a lot more not patriotic. What's the other way? She's a lot more revolutionary than Helena is. Helena is way more dutiful. Like she is very much like, this is the empire. This is what we stand behind. Like I'm pretty sure Helena hates Marcus or hated Marcus at the beginning of the book, especially because of the fact that she still has to go after Elias and she has to get all of these things for him. And but she still does it because duty becomes before anything else. Like she's so dedicated to the empire. And Livia is actually like, but we have to make this place a better world. And if I do that by saving the scholars and like freeing them, that's what we're gonna do. Even though Helena's like, no, just leave them be. We have the empire. They can stay there. It's fine. I really like the fact that they're very determined. They're both very determined, but in a different way. I think Livia is such an underrated character.
I really, really agree with you. Actually, Livia is also one of my favorite characters. I really love her character. Like in the end of the second book, we saw her like for the first time more, and I really wish to see more of her character. And this is one of the reasons that it wasn't 2 stars for me, 3 stars for me, because it was like those kind of characters that I wanted to see more. I saw more. I really love her character, and I actually really agree with you. Like I didn't thought about it this way, but it's actually true because she is more revolutionary. That's of course, yes. She just thinks, I think, on the big picture, just sees more, and Helena is just, I need to do what they are saying. She needs to be like you say, it's dutiful, but Livia is like just looking on the big picture more, and she doesn't have this duty because she wasn't in the backliff. So it's logical that she wasn't like raised on this sort of thought that you need to listen to what people are saying to you. So it's also logical why those characters act the way they act.
Yeah, that's true. That said, though, like it would have been interesting because I feel like Livia would be a lot more like Elias if she had gone to Blackcliff, because Elias is very much like, well, this empire sucks, so I'm gonna get out of here. Especially like in the beginning of book 1, he just wants to desert, like that. But I do have to say, which I really, really appreciate about Livia, like Helena's been made rough by her years of education, the years of torture she had at Blackcliff. Livia, out of herself, is just such a strong character. Just imagine being married to someone like Marcus.
Yes.
Also,
that's horrible.
I mean, the fact that she gave birth to his son, I don't even want to imagine what this guy is like as a husband. And I think she's like just as strong as Helena is, and she did it all by herself.
Yes, she also like overall she puts the whole world before her because she's going to give birth to a husband that she don't love just so the world would change.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like also going on like talking a bit about Musa, I think I hope we'll see a lot more about him, because I feel like he'll be he's such an interesting character, but I just don't know enough about him to sort of make like a full, I don't know, like a full opinion. But I'm very, very, very interested to see what it will be like in book 4.
So I feel like I don't have anything towards him. Like I don't love him, I don't hate him. He was okay. I don't think he was a bad character. Like he had the potential, but again, like I didn't saw a lot from him. So I'm just, I don't know, I'm average about my opinion. Slapped him in the
I'm pretty
face.
sure this is about Elias. I mean, I can get that. Like I can get that. let's move on. We'll talk about that next live show.
Yes. I'm reading something else this week, but shall start the fourth book next week, as Naomi keeps saying. This was good, this was bad. I just want to know. Yes, I want to know too.
I will once I'm finished, I will send both of you screaming messages to read it. As I usually do.
I never thought of Lavia in that perspective, and as my word really made me think about it. I mean, yes, actually, I already loved Livia, but I really agree with Esme. Like, it's so nice to hear you say that, because I never like really thought about her character, her personality, and how she acts. But you are really, really right about it.
I mean, it took me 2 months to think of this, but here we are. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's about Musa, but we shall talk about that too next time.
Yes, I agree with you. Oh, okay. Okay. Also about that you made us think about Livia in a different light. Yes, I love her character, because I just really love her personality, and yes, I really hope to see more in the fourth book. Yes, maybe she will die too. Maybe everyone will die. Maybe the end of the fourth book is just everyone dead. And that's it. No story anymore. The world is dead.
Or Malia just wakes up in her bed as a kid and is like, "Mom, what is happening? I had such a
vivid dream." Yes. Yes.
Also, I'm curious what you guys think of the entire, like, the plot line of freeing the Jinn and, like, getting all of these, like, star pieces.
Yes, it was actually nice. Like, it was nice. It wasn't the most interesting plot, but I love the idea. I feel like the whole fourth book was slow, like the second book, and a little bit was like tried to set itself up to the fourth book, which is the same way that I felt about the second book. So that was my problem. Like, I feel that the plots themselves were interesting, but maybe it was like just a little bit slow for me, like too slow for me. And maybe I wanted to see more plot. So I just wanted more action and more intense things, and I don't feel like I got them.
Yeah, that's fair. I actually, when I first read the book, like the third book for the first time, I actually thought that was the most, like, important thing about the book. And I still think it's very important because it's setting up the fourth book and, like, the big war. But I no longer think it's the most interesting. And that was such a weird shift for me, because now it sort of shifts towards, like, what is happening. Like, everything, of course, is sort of connected. But for me, when reading it now, I really enjoyed the plot line of Helena and, like, everything that goes on around, like, Marcus and Livia and Karis and the betrayal there. I think that is just as important as freeing the Jinn, because it sort of coexists and, like, goes hand in hand.
Yes, I agree, because yes, overall, the freeing the Jinns is the most important plot, because it's like the big thing. It's like the most important thing of how the world will look before and after. But while it was happening, the plot of the journey to get the last star and freeing the Jinn wasn't as interesting as the other plots in the book.
No, I agree. I'm very interested to say, like, how these Jinn will sort of take their place within not only sort of the ranks of the Nightbringer, but also sort of the general, like, rule of the world. Because these Jinn, they were all sort of, entrapped in the waiting place, and, like, the forest. And now they sort of go out into the world. And I'm very, like, I like having multiple layers of, like, myths and, like, ancient history in books. I'm really interested to see if it's going to add, like, another layer to the world building and to the story, because I feel like that will definitely be a change. And I would love to see like the true backstory of the djinn.
Yes, I actually feel like I saw more world building, like I already said it, but those layers that you are talking about, felt like I saw more of those layers in this fourth book. Like I just feel like world building, again, it wasn't perfect, but it was so much better than the second book. I just understand so much more about all the creatures right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that's
I
also
like,
very partial to djinn. I think they're so cool.
yeah, yes. I like that plot or the idea, this like where it was going and ended up being about the freeing up the genes. Yes.
I think that's once again book 4 because of the comment underneath it. But yet again, book 4.
Okay.
Next live show.
Yes, we're talking about
3.
the fourth book right now. I think
I know that it was boring, or at least you guys found it boring, but there's enough to talk about.
I think it was good to know and useful info, but that's it. About
I think
what you're talking. The genes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes,
I don't know. I found like the fact that like Helena's mask was the final piece. I don't know.
Yeah.
I found that very cool. It was such like I didn't expect that at all. So I really enjoyed that.
I do love the idea that it isn't something like a jewelry, and that this is a part of her soul. But what I didn't like about it is that we don't know why a part of her soul is the last piece. Like why?
I hope that will be explained. Because I feel like throughout these 3 books, like in the first one already, we start with Elias, you're an ember in the ashes. And then basically in the second book, the same augur tells Helena that she's the torch against the night. And I think that these are not just titles of the book. They're going to be part of the bigger picture going into book 4. Again, this is all speculation because I have no idea what's going on at this point because I've not read the 4th book yet, but at least that's what I'm thinking, or at least hoping. Like, I hope that at least the fact that I think that's like Elia's armlet or like the bracelet thing, that's part of the star, and then the mask being part, like another star and another piece of the puzzle. Like it should at least at some point fit all together. Like there are these 3 main characters for a reason. Like it needs to be connected.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, also, no worries, Naomi. I was yeah.
So. Should be explained, because if it's not, what is the point? Yes, actually, I feel like that's one of my biggest problems with the series, that I feel that so many things happens, and like, yes, you don't know everything and you don't need to know everything, because the point is to keep reading and to find out. But I feel like there are always just more questions and I don't get almost any answers. I just don't feel satisfied. Like most of my reading isn't satisfied and isn't fun because I'm confused most of the time. I think like this is my biggest problem with the series.
Yeah, this is yeah. It feels like every single time you get an answer, it's like, oh, but what about this and this and this and this?
Yes. Definitely.
I mean, yeah, that's true. The titles
will all make. Yes, it's logical. Yes.
Yeah.
It's logical because it's the title. Like, I guess that the author thinks a lot about the title. Oh my god, they use.
Yep, you do.
Your new signature emoji. You should sell books. I might be good at it.
I feel like we all would be at some point. Like we're all. But yes, you would be. You would be good at it. Yeah.
Try working in a bookstore.
Yep.
Try selling books.
Maybe it'll get you a nice discount so you can spend all of your money's worth before you actually get it on the back.
Yes.
Yeah, that would probably not be a good idea. If we worked in a bookstore, we would spend the money we own so quickly.
Yes, it happens all the time. Just get money and spend everything on books again. Yes. Okay, so do we have more things that we are thinking about the series, like something about the character, something that we liked, some didn't like?
I'm curious, like not specifically book 3 thing, but for those of us who have not finished book 4, what are our predictions? Like, what's gonna happen? And not like in detail, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the war will be won. The Nightbringer will be defeated in some kind of way, at least I think. But like,
so if I'm thinking really about the end of the series, if it will be a good end or bad ending, I'm not sure, but I do think that maybe like it will be overall good ending, like the good guys will win and the Nightbringer, I don't know like how you said it, but I think like the subplots in the book won't end up being like good. I don't know, like I don't think that Elias ending will be good. I'm not sure that Helena ending will be good. I'm not sure that Liar's ending. I'm not sure. Like, I think that in the bigger picture, the world will be better, but the characters themselves will suffer. But I'm not sure.
Yeah. I actually think, like, prediction-wise, I think that Helena will end up on the throne with probably Harper by her side until her nephew comes of age, because he's a baby now. So I think that she will, together with Livia, probably like gather this kind of court situation, and she'll take over, maybe reinstate Blackcliff as well, but in a different manner, and just set up the kingdom again. As for Elia and Elias, I think personally that Elias will get part of his humanity back. And I feel like Elia and Elias's journey will be intertwined a lot in this last book, at least I think. And I have the feeling that both of them will sort of look over the waiting place and turn it into something new. But do it together and then sort of all the while suffer for it.
Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting, actually. I could sell the Wyvern series to the World Challenge.
I've never heard of that. What series?
Actually, it's from Shannon McGuire, right? It's
really? Like, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I read every single book.
Yeah.
In that series. Yeah, no, I was kidding. Sasha just talks about it so often. So I made the joke of like, wait, what series? I have no idea.
Okay, I got it.
Sorry.
Yes, I heard actually a lot of good things about the series. So really maybe, yes. So maybe I will add it to my TBR that never ends. Who knows? Wait, Sasha, did you mention this series before?
Wait, what series? My predictions regarding Laia, definitely about Karis. I was right about Helen and Harper and Livia, but not going to say my predictions, of course. Well, if you did, that would be spoiling very much so.
Yeah. Also was way off with Elias. Okay.
You know you love me. At least I read all of them.
My love for Elias was like dashes that got.
Is it like positive or negative?
Again by the end of. Yes, I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, I think that Helena needs to be destroyed before destroying things and getting things done. Maybe her sister will die. I think that Livia will die. I think so too. Yes, I'm pretty sure that Livia will die, and maybe I want to see one of the main characters die to make the story more sad, because I love.
I mean, technically speaking, Elias is already dead.
Yes, that's true.
So maybe Laia will die and like join him in the waiting place.
Maybe it could happen.
Yes. Maybe Darren will die. I can see this happening.
Yes,
No,
I will be
no,
just. I'm pretty sure that Darren will die. Like
no,
100%. I think he will die. Like I will lose someone else. I'm pretty sure. But yes, I think it will be Darren. Yes, for it to find out.
I don't want
Or
to.
both. Who knows? You know. You know. Wait, the fourth book is actually the last book of the series, right? Because the fourth book was just okay. It's like the end of the series. That's good. That's
Wait,
amazing.
I only have like 400 pages left or something. I don't know. Maybe it's more. I haven't counted them. Or well,
something.
Many,
something around 400 pages. I'm pretty sure Alice will end up being Soul Catcher. Yes, I also think I don't see a way that he won't be a Soul Catcher anymore. I think this is just his destiny.
If
Elias doesn't die, we'll get some kind of.
He deserves a happy ending.
Yes, I agree that he deserves, but I'm not sure that it will happen.
You know what I would want for his mother?
Sorry, I missed the comment. It's so hard to keep quiet all the while knowing what will happen.
This was me during the first live show. I was sitting there going, yeah, he deserves. Also, what would have been cool, or would be cool? I'm not sure. It's probably going to happen. But what if Karis has been like possessed by a ghost all this time, and she actually ends, like she dies tragically, coming back to her own personal self, being like, Elias, I have always loved you. I was possessed by a ghost.
I'm not sure how much
I'm not a great actress, but like
yes, I feel like I actually won't love this kind of ending.
I don't know. I can see it happening. I'm not sure if I would like it, but
I won't like it. I'm already saying it. I don't know. Naomi, if it happens in the fourth book, I don't like it. Usually in this kind of series, a dead character comes back or never actually dies. Yes, it happens a lot in YA, I feel. Like that happens a lot. Elena will be Empress. I actually hope so. Yes, I actually hope so. I feel like she will be a good Empress.
That said, though, that probably, like, I think that this will be true. And maybe not even for the period until her nephew comes of age. Maybe
just
she
always
gets so angry that her nephew and her sister gets killed that she then becomes Empress.
Yes, it could happen.
Oh, that would be so sad. The poor boy is just a baby.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm giving all my wild kisses. Hold on to that fault, Sasha. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, I just hope that, like you already said it, that the fourth book is more intense. So I have high hopes for it. I just hope that it won't be like the second and the fourth book, and it will be more like the fourth book. That's my hopes. And yes, I just want to feel more connected to the characters and more, I don't know, interested in the story. Just want more action and more death and more sadness and more happy endings. I don't know.
I mean, I think that said, do we have any more thoughts?
Yes. I don't think I have a lot because not a lot happened. Like a lot happened, but not as much as the previous books. So yes, I feel like I already said the things that I was thinking about.
Yeah, me too. That said, we don't have any dates yet for the reading sprints, but they will be somewhere mid-August. And then indeed the discussion for the fourth book will be the end of August or the beginning of September, depending on how schedules are, how our work schedules coincide, that kind of thing. I think at least the hope is that Steph will be able to join us for the reading sprints. Same goes for Sasha. And then hopefully we'll have the final discussion for this read along with the three of us. That's my thought.
It will be very, very exciting. I didn't even started to read the fourth book, but I'm already super excited for the last discussion. Like, I feel that it would be the most intense one. And I really hope that the book would be the most intense one. But yes, we will publish later the dates, like also on Twitter, also on Discord. We will publish everything. Hopefully this week, everyone already will know. So hopefully we will know soon and say soon. But it will be just like the same, around the same hours as usual. And yes.
That said, I do actually have to hop off because I actually have to give Nina her insulin at 8. So I actually have to go. So
yes. Okay. Yes, we will already wrap up. So I think yes. I like the moment.
Look at Sasha's comment, like the final one. Yeah, she
Nina
does.
needs her medicine. It's 8 p.m. I'll be there back in Belgium with the relay internet. Amazing. Okay, so thank you so much for everyone who joined us.
Yes.
I'm really excited for the next live show, and join us for also our reading sprints. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, good night, everyone, and good luck with the fourth book. Bye. Bye.